The Galactic Academy's combat psychology course was legendary for breaking cadets. Professor Zithrak, a towering Velcorin with iridescent scales, paced before the assembled students with barely contained anticipation. Today was Fear Assessment Day. Your species has evolved distinct survival mechanisms, Zithrak announced, his translator rendering his clicks and whistles into standard galactic common. The Klaxon freeze when threatened. The Ythrine take flight. The Mordax enter berserker rage. Today you will face your primal terror, the Dresh. Jennifer Torres sat in the third row, her dark eyes tracking the professor's movements. Beside her, Alex Chen shifted uncomfortably in his seat, designed for species with more tentacles than humans typically possessed. They were the only two humans in a class of 47 students from across the known galaxy. Humans, Zithrak's attention snapped to them. Your species is new to our institution. We have limited data on your fear responses. Please observe protocols carefully. Jennifer caught Alex's eye. They'd heard this speech 100 times since arriving at the academy. Limited data, new species. Observe carefully. The galaxy treated humanity like unstable explosives wrapped in mystery. The assessment chamber was circular, with observation platforms ringing a central arena. One by one, students descended to face the Dresh. Jennifer watched as a Klaxon cadet entered, mandibles clicking nervously. A hatch opened. Something massive and shadow-draped emerged. The Dresh was difficult to focus on. It seemed to shift between dimensions. Its form never quite solid. It had too many limbs, too many eyes, too many mouths that whispered things that made Jennifer's translator simply give up and emit static. But what struck her most was the wrongness of it, the way it seemed to fold reality around itself. The Klaxon cadet locked up instantly, every muscle rigid. The Dresh circled once, then retreated. Time, 4 seconds. The class murmured approvingly, a standard freeze response. A Ythrine went next, their crystalline wings exploding into flight the moment the Dresh appeared. Time, 2 seconds. Excellent flight instinct. The Mordax cadet lasted 11 seconds in full combat rage before exhaustion forced recall. "Cadet Torres," Zithrak called. Jennifer descended the steps, her heart rate elevated but steady. She'd faced cartel enforcers in Juarez, survived a flash flood in Colorado, talked down an armed robbery at her father's corner store. She'd been afraid before. The arena floor was cold through her boots. The hatch groaned open. The Dresh poured into the space like liquid nightmare. It was worse up close. The whispers weren't just sound, but somehow feeling, scraping against her thoughts. She could see why species froze, fled, or fought. Every instinct screamed at her to do something. Jennifer took a breath, then another. The creature came closer, reality warping around it. She could smell ozone and something older, something that reminded her of deep caves and ancient stone. Her hands trembled slightly. She let them. "Hello?" she said quietly. The Dresh stopped, its too many eyes focused on her with sudden, terrible clarity. "You're scary," Jennifer continued, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her. "You're supposed to be, but you're also—" She tilted her head, studying it the way she'd studied street dogs in Mexico. "Tired, aren't you?" The observation deck was silent. Professor Zithrak's scales had gone rigid. The Dresh moved closer, so close she could feel the cold emanating from its not-quite-there form. Jennifer held her ground, but not with aggression, not with surrender, with simple, stubborn presence. "It's okay," she whispered. "I'm afraid, but I'm still here." The creature's form flickered. Then, with a sound like reality sighing, it settled onto the arena floor. Not retreating, not attacking, simply resting. Time, 47 seconds, and counting. "Extraordinary," Zithrak breathed. "Recall protocols?" Wait! Alex's voice cut through the chamber. He was already descending the stairs. Protocol be damned. Cadet Chen, this is highly irregular. Alex ignored him, entering the arena with Jennifer. The Dresh's eyes tracked him, but it didn't move from its position. Alex crouched down, a respectful distance away. My grandmother had a saying, Alex said, glancing at Jennifer. El miedo no anda en burro. Fear doesn't ride a donkey, meaning it comes fast. But she also said that fear is honest. It tells you you're alive. He extended his hand, not toward the Dresh, but palm up in the space between them. An offer, not a demand. The creature observed him for a long moment. Then, with movement that seemed to fold space, it shifted closer to both humans. Not threatening, not attacking, it curled its impossible form between them and, if such a creature could be said to sleep, slept. The observation deck erupted in chaos. Zithrak was frantically accessing databases trying to find precedent. Students from a dozen species chattered in confused fear. Jennifer met Alex's eyes over the sleeping nightmare. He grinned. I think we broke their fear test, he murmured. Humans, Zithrak finally managed, his voice stunned, apparently possess a fourth response category we had not documented. Neither freeze, flight, nor fight, but, he struggled for the word, befriend. Jennifer reached out slowly, her hand hovering above the Dresh's not quite solid form. She could feel cold emanating from it, could still sense the wrongness, the fear it evoked. But underneath that, she felt something else. Exhaustion, loneliness, the weight of being used as a weapon generation after generation. Not befriend, she said softly, her words carrying in the silent chamber. Witness. We're afraid, but we don't look away. The Dresh rumbled, a sound between a purr and a growl and something no human throat could make. On the observation deck, a Klaxon cadet fainted. Alex started laughing, quiet and helpless. Jennifer joined him, the absurdity and wonder of the moment overwhelming. Here they were, two humans from Earth, sitting in an alien academy with a creature literally designed to embody fear, and it was napping between them like an oversized interdimensional cat. Professor Zithrak made a note in his datapad. Human fear response. Requires significant further study. Possibly defective. Possibly revolutionary. Recommend increased observation and, for safety's sake, additional Dresh. Jennifer had a feeling the galaxy was about to learn something important about humanity. They collected strays, even the terrifying ones, especially the terrifying ones.